Hello, I'm Jane Giuliano, Sales Manager at Latitude 25, and I'm welcoming Wayne Ahrens, Regional Director of PDS Building here today. Thanks, Wayne, very much for joining us.
No, my pleasure. Thank you, Jane, and very glad to be a part of here, and welcome to everybody out there. Nice, beautiful afternoon in Harvey Bay, and I guess I can start with giving you a little bit about our business and how we got involved with Latitude, which steads back 7 years now, 6 or 7 years. So, local in town, live here for 13 years, choose to live here. I've got a great array of staff and subcontractor base. We've, from right through the design, early design management of the project, we were involved right up to the homes that you see today. We're busily working together with our client on the Health Hub, which is such a draw card for everybody that lives here, waiting to get in and have a swim and use the gym, which no doubt they're all very excited about. But a bit about us is, I think what we bring to the table is a real community feel and the value of being involved in these types of buildings and developments elsewhere. There's a lot of sustainable products in the homes. The client's trying to get to a point of understanding that they've got some really good star rating. You know, the building code talks about what we have to achieve. And certainly sit here today, honestly, as an owner and proud to be a part of the building company, is that we are well and truly exceeding that, nearly up to 8-star homes. So how do you get that? Good air conditioning, tinted windows, good shade devices, orientation of the home, whole array. Insulation, obviously, most of the people understand that good insulation in the walls, insulated roofs, all adds value to get that star rating up so that you're not burning excess electricity. All those sustainable things is trying to use energy for what it is, because eventually it's going to be very, very expensive to buy power. So I guess that's a bit about where we've come today. You know, we've done a lot of work locally as well, Jane. Mm-hmm. As I said, we've been here 13 years. We've been very proud to say that we've built the water park, which most of you people out there may have heard of. It's a massive draw card. I can tell you, when you come to town, no doubt you'll see the big whale at the culture centre. I built that. I get tagged for that to be Wayne's whale, but yeah, we've been very fortunate to be a part of some major community projects, and very proud to be a part of that. So yeah, we've developed some townhouse developments. As I mentioned a minute ago, we've done a development very similar to this in Sydney, where there's 280 homes. Slightly different concept than the RV park here, but in nature, similar processes. So we've got experience. We've got experience to be able to deliver quality and deliver quantum of product. And we're under pressure now to hit some targets with our 43 homes, because I know everybody out there is waiting to buy one, or if not have bought one. So we're working very hard to meet our clients' expectations and to get them delivered in a time frame so people can move out of their homes and move in. Yeah. That's basically, you know, that's pretty well it in a nutshell.
So Wayne, for everyone watching you today who obviously can't be here with us on site, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to catch up, see where we're at, and also provide some first-hand feedback from you as to where we're at Latitude 25.
Oh, thanks, Jane. Yeah, yeah. For all you people at home, I said it's hard times and it's changing times, and the world has certainly moved quite fast in the last 2 or 3 months. So for everybody at home who'd be itching to come up and look at a house or feel what we've got here at Latitude, yeah, I'll do my best to explain what you're missing. And we're about to go for a walk, I believe, and we'll capture some real components of the build and give you some real confidence in what you see is real. And but it's endless amounts of product we can talk about. And sitting here today, it's just really hard to explain it, and I think we might just finish our cup of tea and scones, and I think we wander out and show the people there what we've got to offer. What do you think?
Well, speaking of which, obviously something I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
And for anything left over, please help the boys out on site. I'm sure they'd love them.
Oh, so you prepared those, Cheney. That's so lovely of you.
No.
This is how complete the sales and marketing team here at Latitude. They've got a great kitchen here, and they can cook as well.
Thanks, Wayne.
No, my pleasure.
So Wayne, the big toy that everyone wants, have a chat to us about the garage.
Yeah, this is a space and a half, that's for sure. It's hard to grasp at home, sitting at home, and just to take the reality of how big this is. But you know, it's 16 metres long and 6 metres wide, which is that's a sizable unit in a small residential development just to live in, let alone have as a garage space. So we've got really, really high garage doors here, and you'll find that they're the highest doors that are warranted in this wind loading in Australia.
So how
Designed
high is
by
it?
B&D. That's 3.6 metres. That's your biggest RV. 5 metres wide. So plenty of room to get 2 cars in and out. But we certainly push the parameters on the height to know that the market, that someone's not going to bring a vehicle or a caravan or an RV that wouldn't fit. And, you know, that's a big boat as well. So, yeah, a lot of work. Probably 2 years' work to get these doors warranted for this space. But that's one part of this, as you can see, this massive garage. So, hard to determine how big this is, but I can tell you now, we've had so many mixed people, and you'd know, Jane, we had a gentleman's putting air conditioning ducts in his garages. So, you know, there's the space for his wife, here's his domain here, sort of thing. And there's just so many options you can do in here. But plenty of power points where there's no problems here having your plugs for your caravans, your 15 amps. All that's designed in the electrical plans. And by the way, too, you know, we work very hard with the sales and marketing as the builder when you want to make the house your home.
We also find that these garages may not necessarily house a motorhome or a caravan. We've got people that have got boats, hobbies.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, around those early designs, the part of getting this such a big space, there needs to be a lot of work in how it's constructed too. And as you said, you know, people could put a mezzanine floor in here.
For sure.
Obviously have to get that approved.
Yeah.
But they can use the space for, you know, their own workshop, a massive sewing room. You could run a business out of these garages. But I guess it's just a big space that gives them so many options.
Yeah.
But from a safety factor and the Mobile Home Act, you know, that these community parks stand under a certain legislation, and there's been a lot of work done, and that's where the steel frames come into play. Safety factor, they're very light. You know, to construct a wall that high out of timber is a lot of work. And the other part that really adds value to these houses is, from an engineering perspective, embracing them to meet the building requirements and to meet the legislation where we've got to be able to show, you know, if it's required in a document that you can deconstruct it. Now, that's a big question, and a big word, but there's so much work we put in it. It's the best option. Yes, they're termite resistant. You know, there's so many values that come into the metal frames. This is just one part of these great homes, and I think we should wander through and have a look in the other rooms.
Right, let's go.
Okay, I think...
So, Wayne, we chatted earlier about the energy efficientness of the homes. Tell us a little bit about the insulation properties, especially living in Queensland, what we offer.
Yeah, so that's a major question, and one that's certainly important to all the purchasers. So the building code talks about a 6-star rating, and that's just the minimum requirements to be able to get a home approved and built in Queensland. So obviously the client here is striving for that, you know, the premium park, wanted us to get 8. Okay, builder, you can get 8-star rating. So to do that, I can, as I've said before, you know, we're around the mid-7s. So the big important things there is the solar passive design. Okay, shades, awnings, tinted windows, and one part we're looking at right here is the insulation, the wall and ceiling insulation. So obviously the wall and ceiling insulation is the biggest part. Okay, big open spaces, been able to move convection in regards to airflow, air come in, air move out, and we have our high windows in some of the designs. That adds a lot of value. Although it lets beautiful light into a kitchen and lounge room, adds a huge amount of space to be able to circulate air. Ducted air conditioning in every home. I mean, good sized systems that equate to, yes, it's electricity and it's energy burning, but in a way it's about getting that comfort in the home. So there's been a lot of thought in design, and one of the things is about getting the orientation right with the buildings as well. That's very important, to make sure that you're using the best of your north elevations where you can, and trying to stay away from using the southern side of your buildings as the main entertainment area where you've got a lot of windows.
We're also quite mindful of privacy as well. We never build 2 alfrescos back onto each other.
I must admit, I've noticed that, and I do recall a couple of times where the early design concepts on laying out like stage 2, and it was picked up early that 2 frescoes. Privacy, yeah, not good. Nice to be apart and have their own space, which is very important. So when they go on their front door, they got their own piece of privacy from the community. So that's another big factor of being able to get that orientation right. particularly because we've got ceiling fans out there too to help move that air around. Now, ceiling fans add value. Solar passive hot water, we've had, their options. Some of the owners have taken up. Solar, PV solar, as in electricity, that's another option. That does not account for the star rating. So being 7.5 star here is done by the building material. The solar doesn't come into a quote. Our governing entities don't measure that for a star rating once you get above 6. So solar's even a more plus. So I could stand here saying we're probably beating 8 in most situations where we've got PV solar and solar hot water. That is hard to achieve, and in a development of this size, to get 7s is really, really good. Really good for the owner. Really good to save power, all those things that we comfort, all those things that we need in a house.
Great.
So the other factors that you may see when we walk around is all the windows are tinted. That adds a huge amount of difference to the houses as well. And we have 6.8 laminate, really nice solid glass, tinted windows, and really good shade structures. Only little, but enough to make the difference on those elevations on the north, which obviously the houses have tried to get that orientation, that really north-east orientation, which is really beautiful to live. Just to follow up with our last discussion with Jane in regards to the insulation properties and the passive building construction that we've put a lot of work in, developer especially, it's the lightweight wall cladding material here is a good solid R2 rated product. So particularly wrap the garage to give it that little bit more of a comfort in such a big space. And the other part that's been coming along and been optioned by some owners, and I think it's a really great move, is that the big garage spaces now, the client has been able to work with B&D, and we're putting a sandwich panel, a little bit like this, in your garage doors. So you can actually option up your garage door to have an insulated panel put in.
So thanks to social distancing, Wayne, we can't both stand in the ensuite at the same time.
Oh, what a shame.
But as you can see, the en-suites are obviously got an extremely large open wet shower. Tell us a little bit about the reasoning behind your tiling and those choices there.
Yeah, there's I guess a lot goes into that part of the process as well. We're talking about people that are 50 plus. We want them to live in latitude for the rest of their lives. So the homes have got to be adaptable. That's been a lot of thought as well, knowing that later in life if they need some special therapy or things need to be improved in the wet areas. So obviously, as you mentioned, big shower for one thing. All door openings are big enough to fit in a wheelchair. So that was the minimum. An 878 is quite a big door on any room, and we put them in all the bathrooms as well. So the circulation space there is enough for people to be able to move around and have a bit of room themselves, ensuite and bathrooms. Yeah, the finishes and the colours I can't vouch for. I think the neutral looks beautiful, but the double vanities come with options now, which has been added. In stage 2 where we are now, they've got drawers and doors. So yeah, great size rooms, and I think anybody would be really happy, Jane, if they, all our en-suites and bathrooms.
Excellent. Wayne, here we are looking out to future facilities. Maybe you can give us a bit of an update on where we're at.
Yeah, we're not long off getting the bat and ball out, Janie, and having a bit of a hit around. But where we're standing at now is the tennis court and pickleball court area. So very popular, this new sensation pickleball, which we've had a little go, and our marketing expert Linda's a bit of an expert by now, so no doubt she'll be able to teach all the owners here how to play pickleball. And the lower section over there that's sunken down is bringing the levels up for our magnificent bowling green, which is well underway. Can't quite see maybe in the background, but the pool's structure's poured, so the shell's all done, waiting for it to cure, and then all the finishes will start. And we're only a matter of weeks off now of seeing similar to the clubhouse, but the health hub building coming out of the ground. So going all well, no rain, springtime, we're pretty well on track.
Great stuff. Wayne, thanks so much for taking us out on site and have a look at some of the homes that you're building for us. For anyone that's got questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call on 1800 025 025. If there's anything that I can't answer, I'm obviously going to refer to a higher source.
Absolutely. Yeah, more than happy to assist Jane in any questions at all. So don't hesitate. I've been fortunate enough to meet the builder, in a different circumstance where we've had a presentation and a group of people, and certainly questions get asked, and I'm more than happy to answer that. I mean, you get the answers, you can make stern decisions very quickly. So yeah, don't be shy. Contact sales and marketing through Jane, and I'll be there waiting to get back to you as soon as I can.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure.